A very happy new year, guys! Welcome to the first video of 2021 where we will make a Madhubani painting of Lord Ganesha. I thought to begin this year with the blessings of Ganpati Bappa. To watch this same video in Hindi, you know it. Check the link in the description box below where you will find all the necessary links and material detail as well. So without further ado, let's begin with the tutorial today. So for this painting today, I'm using A4 size handmade paper, which is supposed to be a little smooth and not that textured as you can see here. If you don't have handmade paper, you can use any thick paper around 300 GSM. For sketching, I'm using this nib in nib holder, which is just similar to any calligraphy pen. Now, in case you don't have that, you can also use any waterproof pen as an alternative to sketch the design. But remember, this nib is actually used by Mithila artists. It is a different kind of a nib what they use, but this is also, this also works similar way. Now, this has to be dipped in some paint. So first we have to prepare that paint. For that, I'm using acrylic paint. As you can see, I'm pouring it in a bowl, black color acrylic paint. And I'll just put in the extra paint that was there on the tip of the bottle. And then I'm going to add water. Now, as you see here, I add water in drops, not too much at a time. So this is adding water to it in drops and then going to mix it really well so that no granules can be seen. So you have to really mix it well, thoroughly. Now I see that the paint is a little thicker, so I'll add a little more water to it. So you have to prepare a consistency that is not too flowy and still it has no granules, and it has a particular consistency which when you dip in the nib and you can try it on a rough paper, it gives nice dark lines, and also the paint is not very thick. So this is exactly you have to check while you are using that paint. So this is exact amount of paint that I need, and exact amount of consistency that I need. And now I'm going to start sketching the design. So again, moving on to my paper. Now as you see, I just dip the tip of the nib and then shake off a little bit paint so that not extra paint is there. Using my fingers, I'm just measuring where exactly I'm going to draw the line. So here, as you see, I'm not going to use any scale, anything. I'm going to do it freehand because that is the right way to do it. That's a folk art. So you need to use no scale, and you need to try to do it freehand. If you're not very comfortable doing it, what you can do is sketch a light line using a pencil and then try to move the nib on it using freehand. Or if you're using a pen, still try to do it freehand because that will give you that rawness which is necessary for any folk art. Now, as you see, we will first prepare a double line frame on all four sides. Similarly, with using my finger, it is approximately 1 centimeter always. So if in case you need to be precise and you want to use it, as a beginner, you want to try it out with a scale. So this is approximately 1 centimeter on all four sides. So we'll try to prepare a frame on all four sides, as you see. So here you go. I'll do again the double line. Now here, working out the double line. So this is basically preparing the frame on all four sides. So once I finish it here, I am going to make it on the other side. So I'll just turn my paper and try to make the frame, try to complete it on the other side. Similarly, just trying to join it and using again the double lines. So here you see, I just did the single line first, and then I'll try to extend it because the design that I have planned for it is going to be like this. So here you see, I'll just make the double lines. So then I'm going to show you the border design. And today, as we are starting new and fresh, I am going to make a completely new border. So exactly similarly, we have to create squares and then separate it with double lines every time. So we are going to, divide this whole frame that we made into squares and then try to create a floral pattern inside the square. Now, as you see, the floral pattern is very easy to create. You make a plus and then cross it on both sides and try to join all the lines that you made using a curve. So exactly as you see here. So you join it with curves. So first make plus and then cross it from both sides, and then curves to join it and creating a floral pattern. So this is not just easy to make, but this is a very typical motif of flower which was used in the old paintings, if you will observe, of Mithila. So this can be also used in the background if you want, and this is exactly done in an easy way as you see here. So this is how you do it. So we'll finish this same border on all four sides. It is super simple to make, but it looks really beautiful. And it's also the traditional design which is used for Madhubani painting. So we are going to finish it on all four sides before we start sketching the design as you see here. Now we are going to start with the face of Ganpati. So first you make a curve like this on your paper. And again joining it on the lower side and turning this further into curve which looks like a spiral but kind of an extended one, and then trying to join it on the other side with another curve. Now as you see, we will do the double lines right here first in the below bottom part, and then also on the outside as you see here. So we did it in two different ways. You will come to know later once the sketch is ready how and why we did that. So this is again trying to make the face, and you know that Ganesha has that trunk, the elephant trunk on the face. There is another story behind it. So we'll not get into that details, but we'll just focus on the design that we are making. So here we try to make the mukut that Ganesha has, or kind of you can say turban that he has on his head, and extending below the ears. So here then again we made the tooth, and then on the other side the ears. So it's basically trying to create curves on all sides and giving that flowy and nice Indian touch to those. And we try to create here again on the lower part first the hand of Ganesha. So one of the hand of Ganesha. So it's very simple to make as you see, just simply focusing here on the curves, proper curves, and you will get the right design. So here below I'm just trying to create a scarf that he has. So this is another type of design, unique design, which is used in Madhubani. And here I'm making another hand where he has that sweet laddu that he's fond of. So this is basically not complete hand because there was no space left. So we just leave it with the half hand and that looks perfect. So here try to create his stomach. He has a big belly, we know that. So we just try to create the big belly that he has with double lines, and on the top then here trying to create the hair of Ganesha. Here giving the tilak on his head and trying to create a small dot here, and then tiny designs to make it even more beautiful. So here filling the black paint because this was the hair that we created, and now focusing on the eye because the eye is very important part of Madhubani. It has to be big and bold. So we are just trying to create the same. Now for the eye, inside the eye we are creating the eyeball. So we just try to make it also double lines. You can also make triple lines, which I might also do it. And just trying to darken it first on the outside. So because the more amount of lines you make, more highlighted it is, the eyes. So here the scarf, we are just trying to extend it on this side. And as you see, this is the hand. So we will just try to curve it down. And here I'm just trying to create the leg along with that. So for the leg, we don't have much space. So we don't have to really create the feet. So here we are just trying to create the leg portion. Like he's wearing a dhoti here below, the bottom that he has here. And here in the hand, giving a little bit design to show that he has some jewelry in his hand and in his neck as well. So simple curves, as you see, you can create a beautiful image of Lord Ganesha. Now here I am adding some typical motifs used in Madhubani painting in his bottom wear that he's wearing, the dhoti that he's wearing. So I'm just trying to create these triangles and shading it with fine lines. So this is a typical motif that is used in Madhubani painting, or rather say a pattern that is used in Madhubani painting to fill any design or any place where you want to use this design. So basically, if you have any other clothing, you can also use this design. So these are typical geometric patterns used. Now here for the scarf, I'm trying to create these tiny floral patterns inside, and once you fill in colors, these floral patterns really highlight. And also floral patterns are an important part of Madhubani painting. You will see a lot of flora and fauna used in Madhubani painting. So this is also another important part of it, and I'm just trying to do that. Now here in the ears, I'm just trying to create another floral pattern. So Madhubani painting is also known for, completely filled with different types of patterns, including geometric patterns as we talked about and we saw in the dhoti, and also floral pattern as we are creating here and what we did in the scarf. So this is all that is the basic elements of Madhubani. So in case you are also designing any other design, or you're making another painting, you can use these elements to decorate your painting. So here again, just trying to shade some fine lines, and these fine lines, we don't have to forget that. That's also one very important element and aspect of Madhubani painting, and which, makes a painting unique and, gives it that flavor of Madhubani or Mithila art. So here again in the trunk, I'm just creating some typical floral patterns here to beautify it further. So once we fill in colors, because this painting we are doing in complete Bharni style, we are going to use really bright and beautiful colors to make this painting. So once we fill it completely with colors, so this is going to look beautiful. So here again, we are going to create another floral pattern. So I'm going to do different floral patterns so that you also learn different floral patterns, and you also see that we can use different floral patterns in the same painting and it looks really nice and beautiful. Now the scarf, I just forgot to extend here, so I'll just extend here below and also complete it with that floral pattern that we used here. So this will repeat it. So as you see here, just tiny thing here, and now here a little bit decoration again, here some floral pattern and fine lines to create some deco here. Now here on the top of the turban that he has, we will also create some designs. So here just simply using these double lines to divide it, which once filled with bright colors is going to further highlight it. So here adding some more design on the top, and then moving on, here in the eye, I just forgot to fill the black paint. So we are going to completely finish it later. And here creating a spiral, and around it, these tiny floral patterns. This also is a very nice pattern used, and you can use it also for different parts, and it looks really beautiful. So this is how it is going to look like. So then again, I have to add a few tiny elements. Our sketch is almost complete. I'm just going to beautify it a little bit more. So adding here the jewelry that I told you. So also creating this kind of a garland with tiny flowers. And here adding a kind of a neck piece here for Ganpati. As you also know that Madhubani painting is very decorative and it is filled with a lot of patterns. So we are just trying to add here and there some elements to further beautify it. So here we are done. Just one last thing that I have to do. So I'm going to write this Om here. So just I find it really interesting because mostly our background is going to be filled today not with pattern, just with bold color. So this Om, when you write, is going to highlight it. So this is exactly how our sketch is going to look like before we fill in colors. So once our sketch is ready, we start filling in colors, and for colors here I'm using also acrylic paint. Now you have to make sure that your sketch is completely dry before you start filling in colors. In case you're using nib and acrylic paint to sketch, but if you have sketched it with a pen, then it's fine. You can right away start coloring. So here we have to take care of the minute details that we have sketched. So while you are filling in colors, just be very careful. You can use a round brush size 0 or 1, or even a thinner brush if you're not very comfortable with 0 and 1. I most of the time use 1 and 0. So here also in this corner very particularly I'm showing you to fill in red. So red is basically the background. So the entire background has to be covered with red. So as I said, you have to be very careful and slowly fill in the colors. So you have to go slow while you are filling in colors. So this is how we do it. Now moving on this side, so we have to entirely fill the background with this red color. So this is a very nice shade of red, bright red, which highlights the pink. Now, as you see, my first coat of red is done, but I'm not very happy with the result. And many a times you guys have asked, how do you get that perfect coat? So what you can do is let it dry and fill it with the second coat. And then you will have the perfect background, perfect shade of red or any other color that you're using. So the second coat always helps in acrylic paint. And the best part of acrylic paint is it dries very, very soon. So it will take no time for your paint to dry, even if you have multiple coats on it. So as you see here, I have already started with my next color, which is a nice shade of royal blue, which I'm using for the bottom wear or the dhoti that Lord Ganesha is wearing here. Now, as you may observe that I'm not using this blue for the triangles. I'm just using for the empty part, the other part, and these triangles are going to be filled with some other color. So as I always say, for colors, it can be your own color combination. This is just to show you as an example that you can use these colors and make it look in this manner. Now, after filling in blue, I just thought that to add a leaf here, because I just thought that, it looks empty somehow, and just adding a little bit pattern in the end or later. So it makes it more complete and nice. So this is what I did in the end. Now moving on to the next color is yellow. So this is kind of a pale yellow. So what I did is I had a very bright shade of yellow. So what I did is I mixed a little bit brown in it, not too much, a little brown in it, and I got this nice shade of pale yellow. So you can always play around with your colors. You can also use bright yellow, but I thought that bright yellow will be very dominant. So that is why to use a little bit pale yellow here. So you can definitely decide your own colors, but this is a tip from my side when you are filling in colors. So here, as you see, I'm going to completely cover the face with yellow. And then moving on with pink. So this is a nice dark and a good shade of pink. So almost darker shade of pink. So this is what I'm going to fill in here in the tummy part and also here on the top in the tilak and the floral pattern that I have made on the face of Ganesha. So this is all pink. So mostly all the floral parts are covered with pink. So a few places definitely not with pink, as you see the floral pattern on the tummy part, because the tummy is completely covered with pink. So somehow you have to balance the colors always. So it is basically, playing around with the color combination. Also using here for the floral pattern that we did on the border, pink and yellow combination. So it looks very nice and decent once you completely fill the border with this. Now I move on with my next shade, which is a nice shade of green, which I'm using to add the contrast, because green really stands out once you use it with pink. Also, once you use this nice shade of green with blue in contrast to the royal blue. So I'm going to play around with these two shades here. So using this for the scarf, as you see, and here in the triangles, as I said before, we are going to leave that and going to fill in some other color. Also for the turban that we created, we are going to use, green. So as you see, I'm just filling in alternate, because the other part we are going to fill it with royal blue. So here we are just playing around with these color combinations and trying to create a contrasting, color combinations so that it looks really nice and bright and beautiful. So we are just going to fill it like this. So as you always know, I put in the end the entire painting, the completed work. You can look at it and you can refer to it. You can also find all my paintings on my Instagram handle, which is @dattanushri, and you can check there, and you can also follow me there and get in touch with me if you have any other questions or queries. So as you see, a little bit sunlight falling on my painting, which makes it even more beautiful and nice. So this is here filling the royal blue in the remaining parts. So here also, as you observe, so basically, as I said, just trying to create those color combinations. So we are almost done with the painting. Very soon we will be ready with the painting. Till then, you can hit the like button if you liked this video and enjoyed with me making this beautiful painting of Ganesha. So I wish you all a very happy new year once again, and you have a wonderful year, and stay safe and healthy. And we will meet soon with another tutorial, exciting one. You can also put in your request, what painting you want to make and in which style, in the comment section below, and let me know how did you like this painting and did you enjoy making this painting with me. So we are almost done. Here I'm just using the pen to, create some texture here in the laddu. So basically trying to make the circles. So this is exactly how our painting looks like. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.